and welcome to Off the Charts, episode 158. Today, I'm proud to say that I've got my four friends that I've mentioned on my channel where we decided to, you know what, let's go for it. Let's do a foursome episode and discuss our own channels. So let's just start by introducing ourselves. So on the top left here, on my left, you think that's you, Steve? All right. Well, since, like I said,
like you were pointing at me, but yeah,
you're all in a straight line.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go with the guy with the yellow shirt. Let's introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hi. My name's Steve. I'm the host of Rock and Metal Invasion, and no stranger to hooking up with Dan from time to time and doing shows. But yeah, nice to have another couple of people joining us. So yeah, good to be here.
Excellent. All right, let's go with the guy with the headphones.
Hi, I'm Keith. I'm with the channel Attack from Down Under. I'm the new boy. I've just started making videos early this year, and caught up with these guys on their channels. And thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure. And last but not least, Mr. Flannel or.
It was as close as I could get to flannel for this 90s show we're doing. My name is Kevin Johnson. I am about 5 minutes away from New Orleans. I do Sonic Boom TV, where we look at a lot of thrift store CDs and records, and whenever I get something new, we look at that too, and we do a lot of unboxings and all that kind of good stuff.
Excellent. All right. Well, glad to have you guys on board here. So, like I said, we'll just have fun today, get to know each other and all that. And of course, everybody's links I'm going to put on the bottom in the comments, so you guys can go and hopefully like and subscribe to their channels also, and do the same for everybody else here. So, of course, you guys know me, Off the Charts for Dan. Like I said, just getting to know each other. So let's start with Steve. What is your channel about? What do you talk about on yours here?
Well, I started my channel probably the start of last year, so it's probably been going nearly a year and a half. And yeah, I've just basically been putting out probably on average a show once a week. Although it says I've got like 102 videos, something like that. So, which is basically 102 shows. Yeah, maybe a little bit more than once a week on average, but you know, and some are longer than others. You know, I've done some marathon ones. My 300 subscriber episode was like an hour and 20 minutes, and because I dug a bit of a hole for myself, I just said, okay, 300 subscribers, I'm going to count down my 300 you know, essential hard rock and metal albums from the 80s and early 90s. And then once I started, I'd committed to it, right? So I had to keep going. But it was like, oh my God, this is just never going to end. It took so long. But like, you know, I'd committed to it, you know, and then it was all the putting it all together at the end. But so that's my longest one. But, you know, some are just, you know, some can be just, you know, 5 or 6 minutes just on a specific idea, or maybe a thread that's come up on the vinyl community that I want to respond to. I don't tend to do a lot of those, but I do occasionally. But yeah, usually what will happen is I'll come up with an idea, and yeah, then I'll do the show, and then Dan will contact me and tell me all the ones I've missed that I didn't include. And I go, oh, I'm gonna have to do a part 2. But it's good, which is really good actually. It's like, oh well, that's cool. That's another show, you know. So that happened recently with bands who have a song that's named after the band. Dan found a few more for me, so I had to do a part 2. And then I also did a show about where bands repeat the song. So they record the song, put it on an album, then they do it again. And Dan helped me with that one as well. And now part 2 is coming up for that one. I'm just sort of putting some records aside for that one to do that. But yeah, always sort of ideas keep coming into my head all the time, and then I just note them down and go, oh yeah, I'll do that at some time. So I've got like heaps of more ideas than I've got time to do shows really, which is great, you know. And then I sort of go, what do I feel like doing? I'll kind of go through my list of ideas, and you know, some probably better than others, but yeah, it's just good fun, and yeah, that's pretty much the way it goes at the moment. And I'm also on other channels sometimes too. So I've been on Peter Kerr's channel, Rock Daydream Nation, and well, obviously Dan's channel. Yeah, and there's a couple of other channels as well I might be on soon. So yeah, so it's all good.
Excellent, excellent. If you guys have watched Steve's 300 best albums,
Not falling asleep.
no, I actually liked it a lot. My wallet doesn't. I was like,
yeah.
I don't have that. I don't have that. I don't have. I like his collection is like, oh my god, I want to like almost match it or. Well, yeah, my wallet did not appreciate your episode, so.
Yeah, I just spent money thanks to you the other day, by the way.
Who was that?
Good.
I ordered that Unruly Child album.
Oh, yeah.
Off the, well, it's you, I think, Kevin, that introduced me to Real Gone Music, right?
Yeah. That they come up with some stuff on there, man. I don't know who decides what they reissue, but it's totally random, but really cool, you know?
I've actually, they've never responded to me, but there's a section in there where you can suggest
Oh, really?
some reissues. So I sent a whole list, like there was like 20, 30 ones, and I was like, hopefully it's read to somebody there. So if you guys go to that website, you can actually recommend some ones there. Well, Kevin, since you're talking now, why don't you tell us more about your channel here, the name and all that? And
well, the name actually came from a magazine I did called Sonic Boom Magazine, which was based on I was doing photography, going to concerts like 3 times a week. I was going to local concerts, and a lot of them I was getting in free, so it wasn't a big deal. But I was taking pictures, and I was like, what am I going to do with these pictures? And so I decided I was going to make a magazine about this local New Orleans rock scene. And it went well for a while. But then everybody wanted to start helping, you know, friends and stuff. But they couldn't help on a schedule. They just kind of, oh, I want to do this. And then I'd never hear from them for months or whatever. And it just got to be too much. So I shut it down. And then, I don't know, a year or so later, I was like, I want to do something. And I started making YouTube videos. But the YouTube videos didn't really focus on the New Orleans scene. It ended up being just what I was buying and you know, showing my CDs and my records and going to thrift stores. And I'm always scared to go in a thrift store with a camera and film myself because somebody's going to say, what are you doing, weirdo? So anyway, it just kind of, you know, built off of that. And I do, you know, every time I go to a thrift store, if I get 4 or 5 things, I'll do a video. My videos range usually from about 5 minutes to 45 minutes or so. I don't think I have any that are more than an hour. But a lot of times I'll do like 3 or 4 in a row. And, you know, a lot of people don't like to be wearing the same clothes in their videos. I'll have like 5 or 6 videos wearing exact same shirts or whatever, you know. But I've done 177 episodes so far.
Wow.
And I've got my website up. I'm about to start doing like written reviews because my videos are just totally unscripted off the top of my head. I mean, you know, if you watch, you see that sometimes the light will fall over or something will fall off the shelf or whatever. It's all whatever, you know, just having fun.
excellent. Okay. Yeah, I checked out your website there, so
Yeah.
I've seen that episode there. So well, good luck with that. Last but not least, let's talk about Mr. Keith here. What is your channel about and the name?
Well, like I said, I'm pretty new to this. I just bought a new phone and was just playing around with the functions, and then was recording things around my house. And then I've been watching YouTube videos for probably about 2 years before that. And then I watched a video, I think it was Rob from Northern Revolutions, and he was talking about how easy it is to start your own channel. He said, basically, just get on your phone and just start talking. So I thought, well, that sounds pretty easy to me. So that's what I did, and I just started making little videos, and how I got my name is from this record here. I don't know if you can see that.
Okay.
It's Steve might know it. It's an old
Yeah.
New Zealand sort of 80s heavy metal album there. So that's how I got my channel name, and I use sort of that same sort of logo. And like I think a lot of us have this in common. You've got all these stories about different things you buy and different experiences with music that you have, and then you talk to your partner or you talk to your mate, and their eyes just glaze over, you know. So I thought, well, I've got all these little things I'd like to put out there, so I just started making little videos, and like some of you guys are saying, there's no editing. You just basically talk, and think, you know, things happen to your video. Like I drop stuff all the time, and things like that. And so that's how it sort of came about. My videos, I don't have as many ideas as Steve. I just sort of come up with them pretty early in the piece, and then just see what my collection I've got. I usually alternate videos. Like I'll do one video just about random record collection stuff, and then my next one will be just totally heavy metal. And I've sort of noticed that there's a drop off in subs between them, because a lot of people are confused between the two, but that happens. I basically just make videos that I think I'd like to watch, and I'm just hoping other people find them interesting. And I go off on one sometimes. I'll just think of something randomly and just go with it and things like that. But mainly interested in heavy metal type things, but you know. So I've been doing it for 3 or 4 months.
Good job. I did think of you though today, Keith. I went and did some record shopping and found. I noticed you mentioned that you wanted to buy those new Scorpions.
Yeah.
Reissues. I bought 3 of them today. They're great.
Yeah, I heard they sound pretty good. Yeah.
But it's the I don't even know how to explain this. The album artwork almost feels like velvet, if that makes any sense.
Oh, a matte finish or something.
It's not glossy, it's not matte. I've never felt anything. It's like a cardboard, like, you know, a normal vinyl, but I was like what is that texture? It's a different texture.
I think I've got a few of them on the way, but things just take a bit slower to get here. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Anyway, let me know. Like I said, the touch of it. What do you think?
Yeah, I will be.
Never felt like anything like that on. It's very erotic there. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to ask you guys, when new albums come out and it's like a band from the United States or whatever, does it take a long time for it to get to New Zealand, or is it pretty much comes out at the same time?
It depends. If it's a massive band like that Metallica one came out pretty quick off the bat, we'll get it, you know, because I think they might ship it to Australia, which is a bigger market as well, and we'll sort of get the tail end of it. But some are more obscure bands that aren't as big, that they do take a while. Yeah, I don't know. How do you find it, Steve?
Yeah, no, I think that's pretty much it. It's like Metallica's going to get released on the same day everywhere in the world if possible, you know, and that's probably why sometimes it leaks a little bit early, because it's already been made a week or two beforehand, you know, but it's not officially shipped out and put on the records, you know, out in the record stores until, you know, the actual proper official release date. But so, you know, that's in fact, we're, you know, being in New Zealand, we're possibly the first people to get the Metallica album officially, because
True.
It becomes release day here before pretty much everywhere else. So I think some record shops, record shops actually opened at midnight. So I think I know of one in particular that opened at midnight for that Metallica album, so that you could get it like first in the world, sort of thing.
Yeah, technically, yeah. Are you guys like technically the first time zone or what? Like,
Yeah, we're up there, right? Like there could be some other obscure country, even more obscure than us, that maybe gets to the first day, that day first. But yeah,
because I remember Kevin on his channel was talking about, I'm going to ask those New Zealand guys how much the shipping. But today's actually of all days, when I went to buy those records, I forget why I was talking about shipping with the guy. I was like, oh, I finally found the Scorpions ones, but I didn't want to buy them online because the shipping was ridiculous. And the guy was like, oh yeah, it actually costs me, and this is from Canada, costs me less to ship to Australia than to Nova Scotia, which is a province in Canada, by the way. So within Canada is more expensive than to ship to Australia. I was like, okay, that's odd.
Well,
so
I shipped some comic books to Australia one time, and they paid like $12 for the comic books, and they paid over $50 to ship it. So yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah, maybe America or USA is different to Australia then. But the guy that's what he told me today. I was like, all right, that's weird. But yeah, within the same country, it's more expensive, but Australia isn't. So
that's weird.
Yeah. I don't know how Keith finds it, but I find that America, Canada is not the best place to buy records from. Not because of the price of the records, but because of the shipping. While Europe, even the UK is not too bad. So I tend to go, if I'm buying stuff on Discogs, I'm looking for buyers from those areas rather than America.
Yeah,
I think.
Oh, go ahead.
I think you basically have to double it at least, and then add tax to it, whatever the price you double it, and then
That's why when I order, I try to order more than one to make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
So the product itself is more expensive than the shipping there. So
you can sort of justify it in your collector head if you're a record collector that you do it that way. That's what it is, really. Yeah.
But anyway, I thought of you today, so I'm just and I was like, anecdote there. I was like, check it out, the feeling, but the shipping is another story there. So
an upcoming episode, and I will give it in an upcoming episode. Yeah.
There you go.
Hey Dan, you went like this when you brought them. Are they quite expensive? Were they the Scorpions?
No, they're the price, the normal I would say they were $10 more. Again, this is Canadian dollars. They were $39 each.
Oh yeah.
But that's pretty much what it kind of goes here for in Canada. But like some of them I've seen at $29. So it's not expensive, but it's not the cheapest I've seen it. But it's like I just remember going.
I just wondered because of the packaging you were talking about, with the cover and everything. I thought, oh, maybe that's upping the price.
Maybe, but it's even on the cover there, the hype stick, Mr. Hype sticker there.
Yeah.
It said on a soft. I should have, bring it down here there, but on a soft thing. But I thought they were talking about the insert, the sleeve.
Oh yeah.
But no, it's the cover itself. I was like, okay, that's a different feel. So, all right. Well, anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. My channel, everybody knows what it's about mostly. I'm not gonna
90s alternative.
What's that?
90s alternative rock.
I specifically
French fans. This is the channel for you.
These guys have been razzing me, especially Kevin and Steve. They're like, they know my distaste of grunge and 90s music. And you know what? Actually, what the hell was I listening to the other day? It was, I don't know if you guys know Rick Beato.
Yeah.
I've been listening to that guy this week, and then he put the one hit wonders from the 90s, and my mood went like not bad, not upset, but like more like sad. I was like, it just reminded me of bad moments, and I was like, that's maybe why I don't like the 90s that much there. But
I'm gonna have to introduce you to some ska bands. It's happy sounding music. No matter what they're singing about.
There are some 90s bands that I like you've seen with that 90s thread that's been going on there. But I only did the one episode as opposed to some people doing. It's not just the music for me. It's like I attach it to memories. I guess the '90s for me was a bad decade, because when I heard those one hit wonders, I was like, I was like almost depressed. I was like, wow, this does not bring back, like, that song brings back bad memories for this reason and that reason. I was like, oh my God. I was like, but metal,
It's okay to have feelings.
yeah. But anyway, yeah, mine's mostly about, usually I'll say I'll do album rankings, and I've been doing of late revisiting or remembering forgotten bands. Those and of course these one-off shoots here and there. So that's pretty much, well, like I said, I'm not gonna go on for mine because we're on my channel now. So that's but anyway, so that's our little description of what each channel here is about. Now, I've asked each person, I said, as a game, for fun here, let's see what, try to bring one vinyl that you know that the other three, like you're almost 100% know that the other, or the other three do not have. So how about we start with Keith?
Okay. All right. So I know, Dan, Steve, you've got massive collections. And Kevin, so I had to think a bit out of the box for this one. So I basically called this one Weird Shit. I don't know if you saw, this came out of that crate on one of my videos, that crate, and it's like an independent type seller. Got their own record label. So this one, I'll talk about it first, and then I'll slowly do a slow reveal, because once you see the title of this record, everything else will just
explain itself.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
So this album is actually quite fairly limited. There was 500 done, and I think this is number 30 something. I know of 2 in the country, so I'm pretty confident about this one. The only thing that could trip this up is that if maybe Steve went for a bit of a
that's what I was saying. I'd start worrying about Mr. Yellow Shirt.
Yeah. Maybe he'd get his twin brother Simon in the car, and they'd probably just take a drive up to where I live, and they might have picked up, because there were 2 there in that crate, and one's gone. So I'll start by showing you. Right, I'll show you so this is the vinyl there, and this is apparently Halloween orange vinyl with red splatter, for those that like that sort of thing. So I'll show you that's the back cover. Does that ring any bells so far, anyone?
Evil Dead?
That's what that's the was it called Necronomicon?
Necronomicon? Yeah.
Is that it there? Yeah.
I mean, that's what I thought of.
Yeah, that's what I thought, and I think it's in some of the songs they talk about too. So this is a release by an artist called Rob Crow, and he's from your side of the pond there, Kevin. It's Indianapolis or Indiana, I think it is.
That's closer to Dan.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's my geography there. And this guy's got about does lots of side projects. I think he's got about 12 on the go or something like that. So anyway, this is a picture of him there with his nice 10-speed. Nice looking guy. That's the Necronomicon up there. So he's calling himself on this project Lord Phallus.
All right.
And it says he's in a full-time war against bland heavy metal with an emphasis on actually having a good time. So look at this lyric sheet. I don't know if you can read that. It's all in some sort of weird Lord of the Rings
Oh,
type
wow.
script there. You can't.
Yeah, no.
So anyway, it's quite a fun sort of thing. To sort of describe it, I'd say it was like, if you can imagine, the Foo Fighters got a bit heavier, and then they recruited the lead singer from Weezer or something like that. So anyway, you ready for it?
Never. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. It'll give you a laugh. It'll give you a laugh anyway.
Goblin cock.
I've heard of that, but I've
Really?
I've
Yeah.
never heard of that.
Seriously?
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
There's a movie. I don't know what it is. It's called, but there's a poster with that name on it in the background. And
Oh,
it's
right.
not that picture. It's not
Yeah.
that picture, but it was a I think it was a Netflix kind of movie, and it was like the one of the main characters was this heavy metal guy, and there was these other people that were pretending because they were trying to be in a band or something. And when they show him in his room, there's a picture of that in the background.
Oh, cool. Good spotting. It's called Necro Donkey Kong the Con.
Don't what? Say that again.
Okay, you're gonna make me say it again. All right.
Yes, I am.
Lift it up a little bit. There you go.
Uh-huh.
Necro Donkey Kong the Con.
Necro Nom Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong the Con.
All right, I'm
All
looking
right.
that up.
That is by far the stupidest thing I've seen today.
Thank you. I've succeeded. Have I succeeded?
Yeah,
You got
Yeah.
thumbs up here.
Awesome.
All right. Well, anybody
Well
own
done,
that?
me.
No,
No.
All right.
have heard of it, but never.
All right. Kevin, if
I
you
was-
can actually find that movie, that would actually be fun.
I'm gonna figure out what it is,
All right.
and I'll let you guys know.
All right. Well, since you're talking, let's see yours.
Okay, mine. If any of you have this, you shop too much. This is a New Orleans heavy metal compilation, and it's called Crescent City Carnage. There are 666 copies of this because you know
Obviously.
they have to do that, right?
Obviously, yeah.
It was put out by Sea Rage Records, and it used to be on Bandcamp where you can order it and get the downloads. It's not there anymore, but there's still one song from it, which is a friend of mine's band that still has it. But back cover, it's all I don't know if you guys can see that really well, but it's all local bands. New Orleans has a pretty big underground scene of heavy metal, and it's not like glam metal or anything. It's like the hardcore and all that kind of stuff. There's 10 songs by 10 different bands. Can't really read them on there, but there's I'll just name them off. There's a band called Asa Crux, A Hanging, that's my friend's band. Short Leash, something with initials, I can't read it. I Ain't, Eat the Witch, Sunrise
Eat the Rich?
Council, Eat the Witch.
Oh, yeah, but probably based on Eat the Rich, I guess.
Yeah. Grisnom, I've seen them, Solid Giant and Glut, and there's I know what the one with the initials was. Fat stupid ugly people. And there's this cool little insert, and it lists the names of the songs and all the people that are in the bands. So everybody got their name on that. And then on the other side, there's this. And what's interesting is this picture right here. This is a guy named Hollis Murphy. He passed away during COVID. He was a really big guy. If you think I'm big, he was like twice as big as me. But he was known all over the world, like as a super fan of heavy metal music. And when he passed away, they made a memorial site on Facebook to him. People from just about any country you could think of were like, "Oh, I remember him. He came to see this show." And so he would just be at like local band shows in like Germany and England, and I don't know if he ever got down to New Zealand and Australia, but he probably did. And so anyway, I thought that was interesting that his picture stands out on this.
Nice.
Out of he was in Fat Stupid Ugly People, by So if you have this, you're going way too far, guys.
I don't shop enough apparently, so you're good.
There are 2 copies of it on Discogs that I've seen. They're really cheap. It's like $8 or $12 or something for this. And I've seen it at the local record store as well. I actually got it from my friend who's on it. But you know, if you guys want to hear it, I've got the MP3s. You know, but see what kind of crazy stuff goes on in New Orleans.
All right, perfect.
Cool.
All right, 1 sec there. All right, Steve, let's see what you have for us.
Okay, well, this is a bit of a risky one. There's a couple of things I sort of took into consideration. So I was thinking, I could get some obscure New Zealand band, but then got Keith here, so there's the chance that who actually won't be obscure and he'll actually have it. So then I thought, well, okay, I'll go sort of obscure hair metal, but I know Dan's got a pretty good collection there, so it's a bit of a risky one. So, but I decided to go down the hair metal sort of road because that is what I show on my channel a fair bit. It's a big part of my collection. And it's not even that obscure. It's on a major label, but it's one of those hair metal albums. And I'm calling it hair metal, but no one really necessarily likes that term, but they definitely fit into that category. But they're one of those bands that, they're on a sort of big label, big production. It's quite possible Dan knows about this band, but has he? But has he got it? Because it was released in the sort of early 90s when vinyl was starting to sort of be phased out, and it's only had one release on vinyl. So that I think in Europe, I think somewhere it was released on vinyl. Everywhere else, it's just CDs and cassettes. But and so one of those bands that basically if it had been released a few years earlier, as people like to say, they would have been huge, potentially. But it wasn't. So I think it was a 1991 release, and then they released a few singles. There are some music videos out there, and they even released a second album about 10 years later. But it was one of those ones where they'd recorded it a year or two after their first album, but by then, grunge is in full effect, and that sort of sound is like no one wants to put it out or listen to it or buy it, so it just didn't get released. But then, so then it did get put out a few years later. So the band I'm talking about in the album it is possible to get it on vinyl, but at the moment, looking on Discogs, there's none for sale. And the average price is about 300 New Zealand dollars from people who have bought it. So it's quite a pricey one. Probably be one of the more valuable records I have in my
Canadian dollars, I think. 300.
Yeah, very close. Yeah. And I noticed people had paid like $500 New Zealand dollars for it, which is very similar to Canadian dollars. So people are willing to pay for it. I don't even remember when I bought it. I probably bought it maybe eight or 9 years ago, sort of thing, and I certainly didn't pay much for it at all. But that was when you could get these kind of records at a good price. So the band I'm talking about is a band called McQueen Street, and they've got quite an interesting album cover here.
I know it. I don't own it, but I know it.
Yeah.
It has it?
Yeah.
I have it. Hold on.
Here we go. But it doesn't count if you got it on CD, does it?
Oh yeah, it counts on CD. Let's go.
Oh, look, you had it I thought you'd have to go looking, for it. It's just like
it was right there.
Crazy.
That's funny.
That's awesome. This was a great CD though. I don't know anyone else that ever had it, besides me.
Well, here I was worried about Dan, and Kevin had it right next to him.
You never know what's going to come out of my collection.
Yeah,
I've seen the cover before. That's it.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
Wow. I didn't think especially from Steve's collection. I said, I never thought we'd have it a match.
I didn't either.
That is funny.
And when the whole time I was like, I'm not going to have this. I'm not going to have this. And There it is. You got to do a do-over.
All right. Well, I'm gonna. Okay, I cheated. I brought two, but one's a joke. I'm gonna go with the joke first. Does anybody have a copy of this? My pussy belongs to daddy. Don't choke there, Kevin.
No, don't have that one.
Okay, the reason I'm just gonna. That's the joke there. The reason I have this was I saw a tweet between Mitch Lafon. I don't know if you guys know him.
Yeah.
That's my grandmother's favorite record.
And Mitch Lafon and some other guy and David Coverdale from Whitesnake. And the guy that they were talking between Mitch Lafon and David Coverdale found that album, and David Coverdale's like, great find. Where the hell did you get that? I'm like, okay, I need to find that album now. Sure enough, I found it, but it was a reissue. Okay, anyway, that's just okay. My serious
So
one.
just a sec, Dan. So they've reissued that album. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
This is from there's a whole bunch of these like 60s. It's how do I explain this here? It's like songs actually. Like stripper music. Da 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 da. It's like those
yeah.
ones there, like
Yeah.
like we've all heard them. Back then was maybe a touchy subject, but now it's just like, okay, I know that song. I know that song.
What's the label with that? The label that's on?
Cocktail.
Any relation to that record on? Yeah.
That's the first time it's a picture disc too there,
Oh, it's a picture disc too.
They have a
What's-
whole bunch of these.
What's on the back? What's on the back? You showed the front. What's on the back? Oh, keyhole. Oh, okay. Looking through the keyhole. Okay.
There you go. Anyway, that's just a joke there. Okay, my serious one.
Tell you what, it'd be funny if Kevin brought it out though, wouldn't it? Eh? I mean,
No.
I was sure you guys, and
I have not come across that.
I think I've actually mentioned on my channel before. Okay, my serious one. I got this I've had this since 1983. So it's a compilation. Does this ring any bells? You guys know what Vachon is?
Oh.
No.
Vachon is like Joe Louise. You guys know that?
No.
Like little cakes there you eat there, like
okay.
Like not a chocolate bar, but Mae West had some caramel. For you New Zealand guys, it's probably the equivalent of Marmite. I don't know. But anyway, back in 1983, it's okay. Imagine Snickers. Everybody knows what Snickers
Yeah.
are. So you buy a box of Snickers back then, and you would cut out the proof of purchase,
Right.
and you would mail out to get a free vinyl. So my dad did that at the time. This is back in 1983. I was 11. So it's like a compilation record, and it's actually bands you guys all know, I'm sure. Loverboy, Rough Trade, Toto, Aldo Nova, Harlequin, Adam Ant, Marvin Gaye. So, but it came for free if you bought like Vachon cakes. It's like, I guess, like I said, a Snickers bar or not there. But like I looked on Discogs, there's like 37 people that own this. It's free. I've had a hard time finding other people. Like when I was doing my Discogs, library, I was like, I couldn't find anything like regarding that. But so you guys look like all you had a blank stare when I mentioned Vachon cakes. So that's the logo of the
Okay.
It's like, but yeah, it's like, I don't know how to explain it there. It's like not a cake, but a small cake, I guess, with custard in the middle. You guys have anything like that over there, or?
Oh, what do you call it, Steve? Not meringue. Yeah, can't
Like
think of
Kevin,
it.
I'm sure you would have had, like, Vachon was not popular in the States.
No, I mean I'm fat, but I'm not that fat. Come on.
No, but but I guess it's a Canadian thing only because
I don't know. I never heard of it.
really okay. But like
What I-
West or Half Moons or
What I was thinking of was
Twinkie.
Pavlova.
Twinkie, we had that. Yeah.
Okay, it's comparable to that type
Okay.
of dessert or snack, like a
Okay.
Twinkie. But it's Joe Louis would be like about round like this here. It's a cake with custard in the middle, and
Right.
they
Yeah.
had caramel and May West and a whole bunch of others. Lady fingers, they called them too. That was another one at the time. Anyway, you mailed out and you got it for free.
We have one Pavlova, and we're always arguing between New Zealand and Australia of who came up with it. It's like a meringue type thing, and it's got whipped cream and stuff around. Anyway, and it puts strawberries on the top. Similar thing, but there's a big rivalry between Australia and New Zealand about who came up with it first. Pavlova, yeah.
Who won?
It's ongoing. It's
Yeah.
like a bit of a between the two countries. Yeah.
Okay. No. All right then. Well, anyway, okay. I guess you guys don't have this then.
No.
Not,
But
I
you
can't
guys know
pull
the
that one
band.
out.
You guys know the bands I mentioned, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not all like I thought it was Canadian bands at first there, but yeah, this came out in 1983. Yeah, promotional copy, not for resale.
Is Loverboy from Canada?
Yeah.
Oh,
Loverboys, Canada.
did not know that.
Harlequin is Canada. There's a French band here also. I was like, but yeah, Toto's not Africa. Like,
Did you have to buy? You see, just buy one pack of that stuff, and then you just send the coupon thing.
see, my dad's very he doesn't really remember that part, but I'm sure it was like that was our dessert, I guess, at the time as kids. So you probably had to buy like 12 boxes.
Yeah.
And then get the it's like those hockey cards things or those things.
Yeah, we had contests like that too, and it was usually for something like that, baseball cards or
yeah, exactly.
something, you know.
So the proof of purchase, you have to
Right.
mail out, like literally snail mail out 12 of them or something to
Yeah.
get a free vinyl. And I'm like, I'm looking at that, I'm like, what the hell? Where did this come from? Like, but it's got some great songs on it.
Yeah,
I think in the 60s and 70s, some cereal used to come with those little floppy records with them and things like that. There was all sorts of crazy stuff like happening.
Okay, well, here's a question: did you guys have those floppy records, like literally and you had to put a penny on it?
There goes some stuff. I don't know about putting a penny on it, but
yeah, it's literally like it's
yeah.
okay. It didn't look like that, but yeah, same.
flexi disc.
That's it.
Flexi, yeah.
That's it. Flexi disc. Yeah.
Yeah, we had but it looked like a vinyl, but it was like a same shape as a 45.
Yeah.
And there was a dot on it, says put a penny on it just to put some weight on it.
Right.
And man, if I could find that again, I would be so like.
There were some that were on the back of cereal boxes, and you had to cut them out. And I've seen people that have them to this day, and they're made of like some kind of cardboard, and they play. I don't know how they work, but I remember them having these. And like, if you got the box of cereal, you could feel the grooves on the back of it, and you just.
Wow.
But I don't have any of those left. They're
Wow, that's a different
long ago.
material altogether.
Yeah.
Because mine were like it was like a vinyl, well, like yours right there, but like
Right.
super wobbly. I literally okay, that's gonna be my next mission. I was trying to find one of those. And it came with a Canadian board game. It was a very Canadian thing, but I was just wondering if you guys had those floppy records also, but you had to put a penny on it just to put the.
This is the only closest I've got to that.
Wow. Okay.
And that's actually not old. It was this is from 2020 actually. It's a French band, I think, and they put out about 5 singles like this, and for some reason the record store in New Orleans had a stack of them each time. And so I got like three or four of the 5, and there's like a yellow one, a red one, a blue one, maybe a green one, and I'm missing I think one of them. they're all right,
Wow.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was an interesting idea, and how they got to this store in New Orleans, I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of bands put interviews and things on things like that, and they use them as giveaways, and not always music. Sometimes it's just boring interviews and things. And
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try to find that. That'll be my mission for maybe the next month or so. Try to find that friggin' floppy record. I know exactly what it was from, and the song it was on, but just to show it off there. Anyway, that's another thing there. So, all right. Anyway, I don't want to keep you guys, especially the New Zealand guys there. They have quite the day ahead of them. They're especially Keith here. So I would like to thank all you guys for joining me today. Hopefully it's not going to be the last one. And in the comments, if you have a nick, I'm going to try to find a nickname for us four here or something. Chime in. If you got some suggestions, we'll see. Nothing too dirty, of course. There, let's keep it civil there. But yeah, I want to, like I said, check out Steve's website, Rock and Metal Invasion. Check out Kevin's website, Sonic Boom TV, and Keith's Attack from Down Under. I'm going to put the links in the bottom here. And on that note, you guys know the drill. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe to us four, and we shall see you guys next episode.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Before we go, I wanted to introduce you to a band. I think they're going to be big. They're from the Pacific Northwest. They're just coming out, and I think you'll really like them. They're called Pearl Jam. And this album, I think it's going to go place. I think they're going to probably be around for the next 30 years. If you should really try this.
Yeah.
I heard it sounds better if you wear Doc Martens and flannel shirts. So you should definitely check out this band. They're new. They're just out recently. Epic Records picked them up. So I think you might want to go check this out.
All right. Jeremy's not a bad song. I'll say that. It's not a bad song. And I don't mind Alice in Chains.
It's softening.
There you go. All right.
He'll be 90s before it's over.
Yeah. All right.
90s channel.
What's that?
Pleasure.
Thank you guys for watching.
Thank
and
you guys.
We'll see you guys next
See you
time.
guys.